In this video, I'm going to be showing you the best ways to clear every room in deep storage from a speedrunner's perspective. If you've already seen one of these videos and want to skip straight to the start, you can jump there with the timestamp on screen here. For anyone new, here's a quick rundown of how generation works in White Knuckle. White Knuckle is split into four main regions: silos, pipeworks, habitation, and the abyss, as well as some in the future that they're still making, each made up of smaller subregions filled with randomly generated rooms, each with their own unique challenge. Using a mix of community knowledge and my own 200 hours of experience speedrunning the game, I'll show you both beginner-friendly and speedrunner optimized routes to clear each room as efficiently as possible, as well as giving some tips for each room and the whole subregion at the end of the video. This is the very first room you find. If you struggle with this room, you should probably just play for a couple hours before watching this tutorial, because while it is intended for beginners to be able to learn from, you gotta have at least a couple hours to understand the basic concepts of the game. Anyway, so for this room, you do actually have some choices. You have these items here, and then a slower route, or you can directly grab. I messed that up. You can directly grab like this to get up a little bit faster. In like very cracked speed runs, people will take this route, but if you're more like a novice or a beginner, I would definitely advise you to just take these items instead and go this way. Um, Going slightly against the format I'm going to do for most of the rooms with that one because it's quite a unique one. Anyway, here's Deep Storage 1. I'm going to give you a little free cam. Um, it's a relatively short room. There aren't many crazy item spawns. I think pitons can spawn here. I'm not sure, but pitons are pretty useless anyway, so I'm not really going to mention them much from now on. As well as one spawns here. The only notable item spawn, I guess, is this food, and it's just right here. Bricks, you can pretty much ignore bricks the entire game. And now I'll just show off the different routes that you can choose. Um, which are both similar, but there is a harder route and an easier route. Struggling to get out of free cam there. Anyway, so you can recognize this room by this being on the ground. It's a pretty unique formation. It's not geology, bro, but yeah, it's a unique formation. Um, all I'd advise you to do for this room really is to grab this food, and then if you're going fast, go up like this. Um, and then you can just go up here, and you can grab these lights to go a little bit faster than how you'd otherwise do it, which would be like waiting for this to be in the right phase and then going like this. Just a bit faster to grab the light there. It's a lot more satisfying as well, because I hate waiting for the game to be in my favor. Right, for a beginner who isn't going to be grabbing that light there, it's much simpler. You just grab these handholds. You also get to see an item if you feel like grabbing some rebar. Rebar can be nice if you're a beginner. And then you can just grab stuff like so. There is a third path that's much worse, where instead of going up there, you continue going to the left. It's just slower and more work. It isn't really much easier. And this room, what I'd advise you to do is to look for the thicker platforms and just climb these. They have just handholds like this. One of the sides has food. The other side just doesn't have any spawns, which I can just show you like this. You know, this side doesn't have any spawns anywhere. But once you've climbed up either of the sides, both of them can see this platform. This platform here can spawn a grub. In my experience, is about 1 in 4 chance. Again, you can also see it from this side. Either way you choose, which it's quite hard to distinguish these two sides. Though something I have just realized now is that the better side that has the food has a baton sticking out here. So actually, you should go for the side that has the baton because that will get you the food. And then you can just go up here, and you can either go from the inside, like this. This is harder climbing, and it's probably slower if you factor in consistency, compared to going on the outside. But the exception to going on the outside being better than going on the inside is if you have like some kind of steroid buff or food buff that makes your jump faster, because then you can much faster get to the top of this. But really, both routes are pretty much equally as effective. I'm just going to show you how to climb here. It's pretty basic. That was that entire room. There's a grub spawn, and that's about it. This room, um, just remembering it now. I think this one, yeah, this, oh yeah, free cam. This is a very tall room and a pretty fun room in my opinion. There's a lot of monkey bars as well, and a lot of scaling up walls and stuff, as well as a neat little secret here that I think people in the community genuinely don't even know about very much, because I don't see anyone using it when it's actually really useful, because there's two grubs there, and I think I've checked this 4 times. Every time there's two grubs. So those seem to be guaranteed actually. But I haven't really fact checked that. Anyway, so the route for this one, I think it's identical whether or not you are going for a speedrun or not. You start off here. I'd advise taking a piton here, and I'll tell you why later. You just climb up here, you climb up here, you go here. If you're a speedrunner, you can probably just jump that gap. If you're not a speedrunner, you just walk along and then do a turn. You just climb up here, like so. There are 2 food items here. I think they're guaranteed. Just take them both. They're very useful. And then you jump up here, you go here, and one of the most important things about this room is there's actually a pill spawn here, which has a very high likelihood of spawning. And then you can grab this, dino jump off, and then you can just go here, go up. And once you get enough height, I think you gotta grab like this, closest handhold to it. That's the fastest way. Jump in here, and then use a baton on this wall to get to the top. Without a baton, you can still make it, but you got to spam jump a lot of times, and it's a lot slower. So just grab the baton at the start of this level. Now I'm going to show you how to do the run, which is the same for beginners and speedrunners. Speedrunner will just do it faster. Um, I don't know, I'm in free cam. I keep making that mistake. Okay. So here I see this room. I take this baton. I just climb up this wall like so. I'm gonna show you that, but you can just do a turn if you don't want to do that. Here, just like grab this food, whatever. I actually got to dump some stuff because I have too much. Um, you grab like that, then you can grab these pills, grab the pipe and just go off like that. Just climb up here, make it here, crouch in, you get through, pull out your baton, just place it. Okay, I'm still quite new to this one because I only just found it like kind of recently. Um, yeah, you make it up. You grab 2 grubs, which grubs are some of the most valuable items, if not the most valuable item besides artifacts in this game. And obviously the periphery beans, but you don't need to factor them. There's also 2 additional food item spawns up here, making this one of the best rooms for stamina items in the deep storage. Again, I'm so rich that I can just throw out my food, you know? That's what you get if you do good pathing. Um, that was that whole room. Very fun room, a lot of unique quirks about it. This room, you can already see the top just right there. It's a pretty short room. There are 2 good item spawns here, and I'm gonna show them now. Here, there's a grub spawn, and you can recognize it very easily just from here in the path. The room itself is quite recognizable just based off of this formation here, or just the closed nature of it is also quite rare. Um, and then there's also an additional spawn, which I actually only just found out about because, as you can see here, it's very camouflaged in the surroundings that it has, and also it's completely off of the beaten path. So there's not really much reason to go here if you don't know about these pills. Um, yeah, the paths for the speed run and the non-speed run optimally is pretty much identical here. Otherwise, that you basically do like one jump skip. I'll just show them in action. Of course, I do the wrong command there. Okay, here I am. So you want to grab this and either go directly like that, or if you're more of a beginner and don't want to do a harder jump, you just go like that. From here, you can see immediately whether or not the grub spawned. It's just gonna look like this. That's it. You just put that in your inventory, you go back, and then you can just climb up like this. You go like this, and then you can just like grab this. That's really the whole run for that room. I mean, yeah, it's to be expected that the starting region of the game is going to be quite simple. Um, yeah, now there's this room. I don't really like this room, but it's okay. It's whatever. So usually the room's going to spawn like this, with like a baton hammered down there, but sometimes that won't spawn, and if that doesn't spawn, it's okay. All you got to do, grab this, or go up, or you can grab a baton and put it in the wall if you don't like doing that and you're a beginner, right? So you can just go like that. But either way, you're going to end up here, and then you just grab like that, go here. There are 2 food item spawns, which are quite nice to have. They're not guaranteed though. Then you just grab the indent on the wall there, and that gets you to the top. Now I'll just show it in action. Um, I actually only just realized that this existed because I kind of forgot. But there is a food item there, which is actually quite useful, as well as a rope rebar. So maybe when you go up here, you want to check out if the items there are worth your time. I actually kind of think they are. So I'll probably incorporate that into my runs now. Um, that's a pretty good reminder that I am not perfect at knowing all the best routes here, but I do have quite a lot of knowledge. Anyway, here's me just showing how you do it. Then you can check that, and then you can go up. Okay, here, this is quite a complicated room for deep storage at least, but it's not that difficult. So it's very recognizable based on like these arches and everything. And the best path, whether or not you're a speedrunner, is going to be to find the opposite end to the red light. Always go for this room. Wherever you are, you see the red light, you go opposite. Then you can just climb like so, whatever. It doesn't really matter because there's food items there, which if you didn't have enough food, you will after going that. I did also just find, like, probably around 20 minutes ago, that there's a secret here. There's no items in here though, but I just thought it's cool that I've never seen this secret in over 100 hours of playing. It's like no reason to go in there. But yeah, then you can just continue climbing. It's pretty basic. There's like a item spawn. This room, however, is one of the more complicated ones of deep storage, and also one of my favorite ones. Um, what there's a speedrunning way and there's a non-speedrunning way. This is the basic path. You just go up these ladders. If one of these barnacles hit you, you just hit it with the hammer, and that way it stops grabbing you like that. Then you just go around, and sometimes this will spawn, sometimes it doesn't. But I'll show you what's behind it. There's this room, And there's a lot of good items here. It's very nice when this wall doesn't spawn. Most good runs you see will actually end up having this room because there's just so many good items and it's such a vertical room. Anyway, so yeah, speedrunner. Oh no, that was the basic path. After you go into this room, you just go around, go up this ladder, and then you grab one of these, hit it with a hammer. I'll explain that more in the speedrunning route. And now I'll just show you the speedrunning route as well. So for the speedrunning route, it's actually faster instead of going up this ladder to grab onto these lights, because that will immediately get you to this ladder instead of going up and all the way around. Then you can go up here, and you can actually do this and immediately get there instead of going all the way around again. You go in there, you just grab the items, you climb up this ladder, and you see for any barnacle hands that are out. Here I see one coming down, and I just quickly get it. That time it retracted itself. I was about to hit it with the hammer, and I mean, it's a very fast room. It's a very fun room to clear, and there's some good items if you get lucky. Now this room's kind of mid. It's pretty basic. Not that much going on here, but uh, there are fast paths and there are slow paths. I'll just give the free cam and also how to recognize it. You can recognize it based off of honestly, I just kind of based on this big box being here. This big box is unique. With just like this formation here, it's a bit larger thing to recognize, but as someone who's played for 200 hours, I think it only took me about 40 hours to start recognizing rooms if you really look into it. Um, yeah, so you recognize it there. You can either go up this ladder and then use a baton onto the wall and go there. That's the beginner route, and it's a bit more annoying. And also, I'd probably just skip going this way entirely because the speedrun route isn't really that hard, but it's much faster. So it's a lot less work, basically. A lot of the speedrun route is just making less work for yourself, and sometimes it's a bit harder, but not by much. So it's definitely worth just learning the speedrunning route right away, for most rooms anyway. The only notable item spawns are this food here, which is good if you don't have any food, and I think some rebar spawns up here. Yeah, sometimes a rope rebar will spawn. It's not guaranteed, but it's quite likely, quite often that the rebar does spawn, the rope rebar, which is really useful for like I2, for instance, but also just in rooms as well. But anyway, I'm gonna show you the good path now for Oh, by the way, I forgot to. No, I'll do that later. Okay, so yes, showing the route in action. I'm still in no clip. Would be slightly cheating to be doing that. Went the wrong way. Okay, so you see this room, you see this formation. You can grab this box and then go directly there, but that's a pretty sharp turn you have to do. So if you're a beginner, you can just grab that, and it's less direct. But much easier. Then you can either go like this. I actually messed up there. Grab the light and go like that, or you can go to this ladder. Another thing you can do is instead of going up here and going to this side, you can actually go to this side if you have like a baton in your inventory. Makes it a lot faster. So honestly, I think the speedrunning community hates on batons a bit too much. Because they do have quite a few uses in a lot of places if you just get creative with it. Okay, now there's this room. I like this room. It's quite simple, but it's a very fun one to clear. Only item spawn that's really notable is that there's a food spawn and then a small box. Yeah, whenever there's small boxes in the room, they usually have items. The big boxes never really have items on them, so that's just a nice rule of thumb, I guess. Yeah, here you just grab like this, Yeah, yeah, and you go up like that. There are also some rebars that spawn up here. Anyway, so the difference between a speedrun route and a... Oh yeah, it doesn't really matter which ladder you go here. They all end up going there. But you will usually end up going on this ladder because it's the closest ladder to the food spawn. So you simply go up like that. If you're a speedrunner, you'll take this direct route instead of going up here like that. It's just like a longer jump. And then you just keep going around with these handholds. It's quite simple. Um, yeah, either you can continue going around for another loop and go up there, or you can just grab this directly, which is a nice little skip. Um, it only saves you a couple seconds, but the seconds really add up. That's pretty much that whole room. You can choose whether or not rebar is worth it. For beginners, it is. If you're a speedrunner, they're less worth it. Okay, now it's this room. This room is pretty short, pretty sweet. There is one good item spawn. I'm just gonna show it now. A grub can spawn here. This generation's been pretty unlucky with the item spawns. It's just how it is sometimes. You got to accept that if you want to play this game. And I mean, you don't really need to rely on items to win. Just if you want to do a speed run, you got to get some okay luck with items. Um, anyway, so now I'm just gonna explain the route. Okay, so either this ladder can spawn and sometimes it won't. If it doesn't spawn, it's fine. You can just grab this light. And then from here, regardless of how you got here, you can just go up like this. You can see from like here if the grub spawned. If it did spawn, you can climb like that, put it in your inventory or whatever, and then just be on your merry way. And then if you're a speedrunner, you can climb this last part like that, or you can, if you're more of a beginner, just use those handholds and then go like this. This room is very commonly seen in speedruns. It's a very fast room. It's got some good items there, and I'm just going to show that now. Here, both of them spawned. This is a gold mine. You love to see that. Anyway, so yeah, those are all of the item spawns. All you do from there is, well, actually, yeah, I'm just going to show you the room. It's quite tall. It's got a lot of complex climbing, but if you just take my route, it's very simplified and also just the fastest. Simple is fast, you know? So yeah, I'm just going to show it now. So you're gonna just climb up this wall. Oh yeah, this room is very recognizable just based on there being a broken ladder. No other room seemed to use this broken ladder sprite. Um, yeah, yeah, whatever. Um, yeah, so you just climb up like this, and you just get enough height so that you can make this jump. You go in, you eat at least one of these, and then you can just go up like this. And this jump here is quite a long one, so you need to just get the feel of when you're the furthest away. And then from here, there's just a bunch of handholds, which you can just climb up very quickly. If you're slower at the game, there's not really anything different you do. You just do what I did now, but slower. You know, take more time with each handhold. But yeah, that's that entire room really. It's a very fast one if the candy spawns, and you can probably just reset the run if it doesn't, if you are going for a speed run. And this road, I mean this room, um, very recognizable by there being these stripes. There is one other room that has a very similar formation, but doesn't have this baton here and these boxes here. If you see this, you know to go onto this box, grab this baton. You can check if a candy bar spawned here. Those are like so valuable at the start. And then you can just climb like this. There's also another way you can go after checking the spawn here. Instead of going directly for this light, you can go like this. Similar speed. The one I did first is a little bit faster. Gets you to this, which is a guaranteed spawn. And that's it. That's the whole room. Pretty simple if you just don't overcomplicate it and look for that spawn. This room is very similar looking to the other one, but yeah, it doesn't have those boxes here or a baton here going up. This one's a bit faster, a bit nicer. You go here, there's also a candy bar spawn there. But yeah, you can just zoom straight in this one. There is a grub spawn here, which is always worth checking. You can just see it when you're doing that. Also a food spawn there, and then you can just go to the end. Now I'm going to show doing that quickly. So yeah, you just okay. I messed up a jump there, but it's fine. Then you can take the food if you feel like it. Check if the grub's there. Grab these rebar. Go to the top like that. All right, for this next room, what you're gonna see, how you're gonna recognize it is that there's these two towers here. A lot of these hanging rebars make it very recognizable. I'll give you a little free cam. Yeah, it's quite tall. There's not really any notable spawns besides some candy, though those candy are actually pretty important. So I guess there are some notable spawns. Anyway, I will show that to you now. Okay, so what you're going to want to do in this room is you're going to see these. One of them has a higher handhold, one of them has a lower handhold. What you're going to want to do is you grab and go from the lower handhold section, and then from there you can jump straight onto this ledge. There are two candy spawns that spawn here. This time none of them did, but yeah, you can grab those. They're super valuable in deep storage. Then you can go onto this ladder, jump up here. There's a rope rebar. You can grab that if you want. It's in a kind of awkward position, but you can do it if you feel like it. Then you just jump up here, and then you can just go straight up here. Um, it's a rather simple room, but it's a fun one. It's pretty short. Okay, now there's this next room. Um, yeah, for this room there is a difference between the beginner route and the speedrunner route. Um, this one's quite short as well. It's pretty simple. There's like no item spawns in this room. There's like 2 baton spawns, which is kind of crazy. This room might actually have the least item spawns in like the entire campaign. I haven't fact checked that though. Anyway, yeah. So for a beginner, you're just gonna want to take this path, which you can recognize with just this light being next to these boxes, kind of like this. That's what's unique about it. Yeah, so you just jump up here and then you can climb onto this ledge, and then from there you can just go straight up with these handholds that always spawn. If you're speedrunning, however, going this way is a little bit faster, but it can be kind of annoying because of just the way the parkour is. So if you are a beginner, yeah, I'd suggest doing the other route because you can get stuck on these vents very easily and like jump off, which is annoying, so you can just go that way instead. Not really much else to say about this room. It's probably one of the most boring levels of the entire game. Like actually nothing spawns in it. But this room, quite easy to recognize. One of them, very nice room, pretty fun to run. Has some good items up there. What you're gonna want to do when you see this room, you can see these 2 entrances underneath the cylinder. You go for the one that doesn't have the container crate, which means you go this way, and then you can climb up here. The handhold for this one is actually really high, so you got to go from like way above where it kind of looks like the handhold is. Then you just climb these. Um, then you can like grab off the door and go up here where there's a guaranteed pills and steroid spawn. Little note, good stuff. And then you can just go through here. Might be able to tell this is a different recording session, not playing as well as I was last time. And this is the the newest room, the newest addition to deep storage. It's also a pretty nice one. It's got a guaranteed steroid spawn. It's going to be in this section. You can recognize it by there being 4 different paths you can go. This is the best section, and you can recognize it by it having a ladder. There's 2 that have a ladder, and the difference between these 2 that you can easily see is this one has these handholds, while the other one doesn't have any handholds on the side. So from here, I can just see this one's got red, this one doesn't have red. You go here, there's a rebar spawn, you can take that, or you can not. It's whatever. And then you can just go up here, grab steroids, then just go towards the center, and you're at the top. That's the end of deep storage. I'll actually just show you the break room real quick. And this is the break room, which is the guaranteed ending room of deep storage. You'll encounter this at 300 meters in all of your runs. Maybe like plus or minus 20 meters. I'm not sure about that because each of the rooms kind of has like a different height that, you know, if they're going to be randomly generating rooms, there's going to be a little bit of variation in how high each of these thresholds are. But generally, it's 300 meters, and they kind of keep it pretty close to that in my experience. Anyway, here you can go get like an experimental perk. There's always a guaranteed food item here. It's usually a couple of roaches in here if you want to grab some. These vending machines are, I think these might, no, not these ones. Yeah, there's different kinds of vending machines. Some of them are guaranteed to give the high tier items, some of them aren't. These ones are just normal vending machines. But anyway, you can just grab food real quick. There's also the new wrench from the Parasite event. If you complete it, the wrench can spawn in the game. It's pretty fun to have double wrenches and just beat the crap out of blood bugs. But anyway, this is the end of the first video of the series of covering every campaign level in White Knuckle with the best route for both beginners and speedrunners. This is my first video, so you know, please forgive me for the editing not being the best or the just the video quality in general. I'll try to do better in the future. Though this is kind of just a test. Yeah, final tips for the whole area. Deep storage, the main role it plays in a run is just to be a very fast area where you can quickly accumulate a lot of food items, syringes, and if you're lucky, a couple of grubs as well. Yeah, that's about it for deep storage. Um, Food items are really crucial, especially on Iron Knuckle, since the second major region of the game, Pipeworks, you're going to want a lot of them if you want to actually clear it quickly. Yeah, that's about it. Any advice that contradicts what I advise for the routes, please put that in the comments section. I'd love to see if I'm wrong about any of these, because I mean I'd like to learn as well, and yeah, I mean it benefits everyone. Really, it's your own choice what path you want to go. This is only advice, so you know and can be more informed when you make your decision on what path to go. Ultimately, it's your own choice. But yeah, these are, to my knowledge, the fastest and most effective ways to clear these rooms. yeah, hope you have fun climbing, and see you in maybe a week or something.